Chapter 15 was really interesting to me because it's talking about the Gentiles being grafted in to Israel, which sounds very familiar again to some New Testament language in Romans chapter 11 specifically. I have not seen anywhere else in the Old Testament that type of language being used. And that led to another really interesting part in chapter 15. Verses 26 through 36 in First Nephi in chapter 15 are talking about a judgment and a very binary view of the afterlife, of hell versus heaven. I actually was resonating with some of what was being communicated here, that there's a filthiness that can't dwell in heaven. So those that are unrighteous would not be able to enter into heaven, but would be sent to hell. And that's, in my context, tied to the holiness of God, that God in his holy presence cannot dwell with unholiness, which is why mainstream Christians do have this binary view that anyone who's not been made holy by the blood of Christ would be the owners of their sin. And as a result, they could not dwell in God's presence, so that they would spend eternity in hell. So this didn't really sound like the idea of the three levels of heaven that I know the Latter-day Saint Church teaches, which I'm pretty sure is talked about in Doctrines and Covenants. It seemed more like a heaven and hell idea. So I found that section pretty interesting.